We're very pleased to be joined by the principal owner and president of the Fergus Whalers. Hail the whale, ladies and gentlemen. And they certainly made the community do that in their first ever season in the PJHL. Jason Baier on the line. Bisey, how are you, bud?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're excited, and I know Fergus fans are excited. I mean, you came in last year as a new expansion team in the league, and you guys really hit the ground running, man. What an excellent season for a brand new team, a fourth overall finish in the standings, and you guys pushed the eventual champions in a really great playoff battle as well. How do you reflect back on that first year? Because it ended up being a tremendous success, all things considered.
Well, Ryan, first off, thanks for having me on. It's always a privilege and an honor to be with you, and thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, I can't express to you how proud of the group I was and of our whole entire staff and players of our first season, volunteers. Everybody really contributed. It was probably more than we expected. We had some obviously goals for year one, being an expansion franchise, and we really felt we exceeded those expectations, both on and off the ice. You know, game 6 of our playoff against Hanover at home, we had over 1,000 people at the CW Sportsplex, and very proud moment for everybody to bring hockey back to Fergus and to reignite the flame, per se, there. As far as our season goes, you know, obviously we were came out of the gate the way we expected, you know, understanding our players, understanding our, you know, the communication with our coaching staff and so forth with them, you know, putting 22, 25 guys together for the first time. It was an experience. And then as the season went on, you know, it kind of reflected in our record and our competitiveness. We got better and stronger. We made some key acquisitions through the season, which were very helpful to our group. They fit right in. And, you know, we really obviously liked the way we ended our season with a first round win in the playoffs versus Walkerton, and then you know, push the eventual winner, Hanover. We really felt it was anyone's series. There was a lot of close hockey games. We give them full credit and congrats to them on an excellent season. But I was, from our group standpoint, we're very pleased with how well we competed.
You know, I remember talking to you when, you know, the team was about to play its first game and getting ready for year one. And you had mentioned that you guys made it a real focal point to set a strong foundation right out of the gate. And it's pretty safe to say you did that. But I remember you saying that all started with the bench and your coaching staff. They just did a tremendous job last year.
You know, Ryan, obviously when we do our voting for the coaches of the year and so forth, you can't vote for your own. That's how it works. But obviously I really felt I could have. You know, obviously the other coaches in the league, no disrespect to them, they had some great seasons throughout the league. But for Ryan Black, our head coach, and his staff of Mark Martin, Jeff Oshler, and Randy Coverdale, to come into this league, you know, and to have the guidance from Craig Duell, our general manager, and Ryan Duck, you know, our alternate governor, and myself as the director of hockey. You know, they did a phenomenal job, and their communication skills are excellent. Their on ice ability to adapt in game is excellent. But their overall knowledge of the game, you know, we're very pleased to have them, and they were a really key component for our team last year. We're excited about them coming back, and we're looking forward to getting started tonight at the CW Sportsplex.
Obviously, on the ice, you guys wanted to make a splash as well and really give something for the fans to be excited about. And I think you certainly did that when you announced that Ty Anselmini was going to be a part of the program in year one. And he led your team in scoring. I mean, what a season he had. He only managed to get into 31 games, but he put up 63 points. I mean, he had just a phenomenal season. And, you know, down your lineup, you had a lot of great rookie contributors as well, kids from the area. I obviously think of guys like Jet Morningstar, who you brought in, local kid who had a great year himself. Who are some guys from last year's roster? We know it's a cyclical nature in junior hockey. Guys get older, guys move on. Who are some key contributors from last year's squad that will not be part of the program this year?
Well, they're not part of it. So, obviously we had a really good group last year. Our OAs were strong last year, Ryan, with Kyle Parsons and Connor Bradley on the back end, along with Zach Noel, all players that we acquired throughout the course of the year, along with our captain, Jack McDonald. They're going to be sorely missed this year. Obviously we also, you mentioned Jet Morningstar. Jet's not returning this season. Jet's, there's things going on in his life right now. They're a priority over hockey, and we're going to miss Jet. So we have some holes to fill, and we were busy in the off season. We're really excited about, you mentioned Ty. I give Ty a lot of credit. When he committed to us last season, there wasn't much of a supporting cast that we had gotten around him yet at that point. But now we've done I think between myself and Craig and the rest of the staff, we've got Henry Turner as our captain this upcoming season. And we couldn't be more happy than having Henry to lead our club with Ty. And then from there, we made some key acquisitions throughout last season. Jacob Lesser's a real strong hockey player, a great individual that joined us throughout the course of the year. We added Tyler Ewald, through the course of last year, who's going to be a leader in our group this year. And we went out and, added, guys like Nolan Jury in the offseason, the trade with Alliston. We're really excited about that young defenseman. Alex Spencer, to shore up our back end, made a deal recently too. So we're veteran laden lineup. But I think the other thing to mention, Ryan, is that, when you get a player such as JJ Levine, who turned into a defenseman last year for us, who had an excellent year, and a little shout out to JJ Levine and Ryan McDougall, who are now the Canadian champions of Junior B lacrosse, who won it for the Lower Mohawks recently, the Founders Cup. Extraordinary accomplishment for both of them. We're really happy for them. But you add those factors from last season, Ryan, but you also had the major factor of two other things: is our back end of our goaltender, which is Brad Beauville returning as an OA. We're really happy about that, and Bradley's going to have an opportunity to do some great things this year. We feel in the league. He was extraordinarily solid for us last year. But on top of that, these kids now are starting a season together. Your Tyler Ewalds and your Henry Turners and your Jacob Lessers, and the rest of they're starting together to start, and I think that's going to really bode well, along with some young guns like Mark Pazowski and Ryan McDougall. Justin Ewald we acquired from Blenheim Blades, who's a 47-point guy last year with Blenheim, Tyler's younger brother. So we did our work. We understood last season after losing to Hanover in a hard-fought series. We learned from that. We understood where we were at as a group, and we made the adjustments we feel in the off season to address those, and we're excited to get started.
This is what I love about interviewing a Baier, is it's just an automatic interview. You don't even have to ask questions. You give me all the answers, Jason. I love it. I do want to talk to you a little bit about a guy you mentioned, obviously, who's a key part of it, and that's Henry Turner, Hank, as they call him. And you look at the season he had last year, and obviously his leadership shows through. 11 games played. He had 18 points. I mean, this guy is a superstar when he steps on the ice for you. You mentioned he's going to be your captain this year. What is it about him that makes him a special leader?
Well, in Henry's case, Ryan, there's people know him as Henry Turner, the hockey player. We know Henry Turner is the person first and foremost, an extraordinary individual, just outstanding in all aspects. He's well-mannered. He's a family guy, very intelligent, and handles situations with such understanding and experience. He's the whole package. And I think obviously there was an issue with Henry last season being suspended a little bit and so forth. But people have the wrong impression about Henry. He's a very, very solid individual and person first and foremost, and everybody looks up to him. He's a great leader. Like I said, we were very, very happy to add him last season. But now he's able to, we announced the captaincy to him, shortly after our season ended last year. So he's been involved with us through the course of the off season, helping us with certain things with players and recruitment and so forth. And he's the entire package. And, we're obviously excited about what he brings on the ice for us, but we're just excited about what he brings to us as a leader. And, I have to mention our our most key acquisition through the offseason, which just came out a couple of weeks ago, was Ethan Broderick. Ethan Broderick is a 5 tool hockey player and even stronger individual. And Ethan Broderick and Henry have history together. They played the U18 together in Guelph years ago with Ty Anselmini. And to acquire Ethan Broderick, a local player, local person, outstanding individual, a champion with the Collingwood Blues recently, Centennial Cup. It goes without saying that we were very, very pleased to acquire him. He's an absolute stud in the back end. And why I'm bringing up Ethan is obviously many reasons, but one of them is he'll be flanked with Henry as part of our leadership group. Don't look now; it's a pretty tough group to beat as far as leadership goes within our league.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge acquisition, obviously, and that Collingwood program has made a lot of noise, obviously, over the last number of years. So to add somebody with a winning pedigree like that, especially on your back end, which is so important, is huge. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. We like to talk about it with every team, but I always enjoy doing it with you in particular because you're a goalie guy, Jason.
Yeah.
You're a goalie guy. Your son was a pretty darn good goaltender. You've been around a lot of good goaltenders, and the kid that's returning in net for you as an OA this year, pretty darn good goaltender. And you obviously had experience with Bradley Beauville in that Mitchell winning season, which you were a part of. And, he has stepped in and taken over. Obviously, he was a backup that year to Tyler Parr. Most people would be a backup to Tyler Parr. But I think people wondered, maybe what's it going to be like when he takes over the reins as a starter? Well, I mean, did he ever pass the test with flying colors? Just an unbelievable season of 306 goals against, a 915 save percentage, played almost 1,700 minutes. I mean, the kid's an absolute horse. You've spent a lot of time around really good goaltenders, including in your household. What makes Bradley special as a goaltender?
What makes Bradley special is his demeanor, his such a solid attitude towards being here and being in the net. He loves it. He's always smiling. He's always talking to the players on the ice, and not in a bad way. He's always he's excited to be there. He's excited to be a goalie. People don't understand with Bradley Beauville, but he faced a lot of rubber early on last year. Like, those stats you rhymed off to the viewers. There were some nights he was facing 50, 55, 60 shots until we got our act together as far as understanding our group and where we're going to be. And there was many nights he was left out there, and he came through with flying colors. We got some points early on in our season that we had no business getting, and he was a factor in that. His overall just wanting to be there, his overall effort. He is one of our leaders based on always making fun in the room, fun to be around the guys, making it fun to be at the rink. He's the total package. And you're right. There were some people wondering, when we acquired him from Mitchell, how he was going to be. But I had every ounce of trust in him, and excitement in him to bring him on board. He needed the opportunity to be a number one in this league, and he made the most of it. And he's real excited to get back on the horse and get rolling here with us tonight.
Last year, Jake McKinney got into 14 games and he had really excellent stats as well. Is he going to be back as the tandem?
No, we moved. Jacob McKinney is going to be playing for the Hesper Shamrocks this year. That was something we felt on both parties was good. Jacob's an 04, and he wanted the opportunity to play a bit more. And as you related earlier in our interview, I've had some experience with goaltenders and what makes them take a little bit and what they need. And it was a very mutual understanding. And so we moved Jacob to Hesper, and we wish him all the best there with the Shamrocks. We actually signed a U18 tender out of Guelph, Trevor Woods. We're really excited about. Trevor played last year. I mentioned the U18 in Guelph, and he's an Oakville person, and he's going to U of G this year. And there was a lot of teams that were active on Trevor. But the Fergus Whalers were pleased to acquire him, and we're excited about it. And Trevor will be the goalie partner with Bradley Beauville starting our season.
Well, it's no shock that you got a great crease back there because that's something that you've always valued for sure. And how couldn't you, obviously, with your history with the position? I'm curious too, obviously at this level, especially having local kids and promoting the local hockey program, it's so important. And right off the hop, you guys last year made sure to have a bunch of kids from either Fergus proper or the very near surrounding area as part of the team. Why is that so important to make sure that local products are kind of shown off and celebrated at the junior C level?
It's our roots, Ryan, right? It's important. It's important for everybody to know the roots and acknowledge them. We've got an absolute, I call him basically an icon in the Fergus Laurier area with Ethan Broderick. He's a local kid, and that's going to be excellent for him and playing his hometown. And it just brings the roots out for young kids to see playing, or see Ryan McDougall from Fergus playing for us, or JJ Levine, or Alex Spencer from Pushlinch. And there's other ones on that list, but we're trying to involve the younger groups and the younger roots. And people need to understand who's in the lineup, where they live, and we're trying to have as much local talent as possible. And speaking of local talent, we obviously work hard with our local minor hockey systems as well, and local with Guelph minor hockey as well, and try to involve as many players locally as we can with our organization.
Yeah, it's a special thing. And, they always say the players are your best recruiters, and that's obviously important too. Finally, I just want to ask you, your year in, it went swimmingly. It was a lot of fun to watch. What is it about Fergus that makes it such a special junior hockey community?
Well, I think it makes it special. Number one, it's got history, right? It's got history. They've had some great, hockey teams in the past there, and I think it also makes it's a really growing community, right? Be it from a sporting, whether it's lacrosse or hockey, the community is growing. Center Wellington is flourishing right now with its population, and young kids are coming on board. And I think it gives everybody an opportunity and excitement to watch junior hockey, be a part of it, give the kids some goals and targets to be a whaler someday. That's pretty exciting, right? If you're a 10 or 11-year-old and you're going to the rink on a Saturday morning and it's snow blizzard, why am I going? Well, I want to be a whaler, right? You want to give those kids something to look forward to or strive towards. The community has been great, Ryan. Our sponsorship has been outstanding. Coops Drywall is our main sponsor. Todd Cooper, Rod Speak. Can't thank you enough for their support. But it goes deeper than that. Our sponsors within the community have been great. And again, this year, after again having a successful year one, those sponsors have been greatly supporting us, and we can't thank you enough. And we welcome anybody to join us as a sponsor as well. We think we do a good job of our social media platforms with Instagram and Twitter and our website, and thanking them and promoting not only them but our team. And again, the community's been great. And we go from a situation started last season where you're getting maybe 150 to 200 people at the games. Who are these Fergus Whalers? We knew that was going to happen. But as the season went on and we did our part on the ice and off the ice with community involvement by doing, car washes or, serving meals at a restaurant or, Santa Claus parades, you got to get involved, get the players out there. Now all of a sudden you got 1,000 people at Game 6 against Hanover. It's a great feeling.
Absolutely. It's a special community that lacked junior hockey representation for too long, but that's no longer the case. Hail the Whale. The Whalers are here, and we're excited to see what you've got cooked up for a sophomore performance this year, Mr. Baier. Thanks so much for doing this, man. We're so excited to see you at the rink. It's always a pleasure to run into you and talk to you, and we're excited to see what the Whalers have in store for us, my friend.
Thanks, Ryan. It's always an honor to be with you. Thanks for having me on. We wish everybody all the best. Have a great hockey season, and hail to the Whale.